The questions Molly asked at the dinner table last night were still swirling in my mind. I had set out for work, but I couldn't seem to clear my head. I was trying to figure out why Molly kept bringing up this subject, why she constantly asked about my past in almost every conversation. She questioned my past relationships and my experiences with other women. It was as if these questions had become an obsession for her. But what really bothered me was the purpose behind Molly's questions. Was it mere curiosity, or was there something else behind it? Last night at the table, Molly's eyes were fixed on mine. "Billy, have you ever thought about another woman when we were together, or have you ever missed them?" she asked. There was only one answer to these kinds of questions. "No, Molly, I've never thought anything like that," I said. There wasn't a trace of hesitation in my words. I had never doubted my love and loyalty to her. When we got married 5 years ago, I was completely committed to her, and I still was. Our relationship was built on love and trust. My love for Molly was endless, and I was happy in this marriage. But I couldn't figure out why Molly kept repeating these questions. She had asked them before, but this time, it felt different. The seriousness in her tone, the tension on her face made me suspicious. There was something beneath this question. It wasn't just curiosity about a few women from my past. This time, Molly had something much deeper on her mind, and I hadn't realized it yet. I felt a sense of unease. Even though I thought there wasn't a problem between Molly and me, her constant questioning of the past gave me the feeling that something was wrong. Molly had always been cheerful, talkative, and full of love, but lately there was something strange about her. And this unease was giving a new meaning to the questions that kept spinning in my head. Molly's constant questioning was changing the dynamic between us. No matter how much trust there was, it felt like something was starting to go wrong. I came home as usual, but I noticed a change in Molly's behavior. She was quieter, more pensive. During dinner, our eyes met, and it was as if she wanted to say something. At that moment, the unease within me grew stronger. "Molly, are you okay?" I asked, frowning slightly. She lowered her head slightly and began stirring the food on her plate with her fork. "I'm fine. I'm just a little tired," she said. But this wasn't just tiredness. I knew her. She wanted to talk but was struggling to find the words. "Molly, there's something on your mind tonight. You can talk to me. Do you want to tell me what's going on?" I said, trying to stay calm. She paused for a moment, her eyes fixed on the table. Then she took a deep breath and started to speak. "Billy, I don't know. Lately, my mind has been all over the place. My thoughts are scattered." "Is that why you've been asking about the past so much? Is something going on, Molly?" "You can tell me anything," I said, a tone of concern becoming more evident in my voice. My heart started pounding. "It's not like that. I mean, yes, I've been thinking a lot lately," she muttered. Then she caught my eyes, as if she were about to reveal a secret she'd been hiding for a long time. "I don't know. Maybe I just feel like I'm missing something." "What do you mean?" I asked, trying to suppress the sudden tightness in my chest. "It's just, I haven't had a past like yours, Billy. You have experiences. You've been with many women, but me, I've only ever been with one person. Sometimes I wish I had experienced more," she said. Her voice was trembling. Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. Molly wasn't just curious about my past. She wanted to experience something else herself. "Molly, every moment with you is enough for me. You are everything to me. But why do you feel this way?" I asked, unable to hide the hurt in my voice. Molly averted her eyes. "I don't know. Maybe it's just a fantasy, but it keeps swirling in my mind." What Molly had said shook me deeply. I never thought there could be such a problem between us. Did this emptiness in her mind mean that I wasn't enough for her? We made it through that night, but everything felt like it was hanging in the air. I didn't want to lose Molly, but seeing her feel something else terrified me. A week later, one of Molly's business trips was coming up. Alongside her was her new colleague, Nick. Nick was young and dynamic, and according to what Molly told me, quite sociable. At first, I didn't pay much attention to what Molly was saying about Nick. Meeting new people at work seemed normal, I thought. But this time, it was impossible not to notice the change in Molly's eyes. One evening, as we were sitting down for dinner again, she started talking about Nick. "Nick is a really good guy," she said. "He's very smart and confident. He brings a different perspective to the job." As I listened to her words, I felt a sense of discomfort rising inside me. "You work closely with him, I assume?" I asked, my voice unintentionally coming out sharper. "Yes, we've been on a few business trips. We're a good team," she said, her eyes sparkling slightly. Molly, standing in front of me, openly telling me she wanted to be with another man, was shaking everything I believed in. "Just once?" I shouted. "Is that the value of our marriage? Is a fleeting whim worth everything we've shared over the years?" Molly raised her hands defensively, trying to explain herself. "Billy, it's just something physical. I love you, but I feel like I need to do this. Otherwise, I'll always feel empty inside. Once I do it, everything will get better. Believe me." But I didn't believe her. "This isn't love, Molly," I responded, my anger rising even further. "How can you say you love me and still want to be with someone else? This will destroy our marriage, Molly. If you go through with this, we'll never be the same again." Molly's tears, though heartbreaking, couldn't stop me from what I was about to say. "Molly, if you go through with this, we are done. Don't you understand?" I said, unable to suppress the rage in my voice. Molly took a shaky breath and took a step toward me. "Billy, I don't want to lose you, but there's an emptiness inside me. I'm happy with you, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a whim, but I can't feel whole without experiencing this," she said. Her words echoed in my ears. Something inside me had completely snapped. "And what about me?" I asked, my voice cracking. "This marriage, this life, are you really going to destroy it all over a whim? Is a few hours with some guy worth more than everything we built together?" Molly tried to wipe away her tears. "No, Billy, I love you. This will only happen once, then everything will go back to normal," she pleaded. But I didn't believe her. This just once she was talking about would destroy everything between us. I knew that now. The very thought of her being with someone else was dragging our relationship to a point of no return. There was a moment of deep silence. Then, with a tone of finality in my voice, I said, "Molly, this is your last chance. Whatever's going on with Nick, don't see him again, and let's work on fixing what's wrong between us. Otherwise, this marriage is over. This is our last shot." Molly paused for a moment, her eyes locked on mine, but she seemed so far away. Then she shook her head. "Billy, I can't. You don't understand how important this is for me. This was my decision, and I had to tell you," she said. In that moment, I knew it was all over. Slowly, I turned and walked out of the house. As I closed the door behind me, I felt the life we had built over the years shatter into pieces. Molly's desire to be with another man had destroyed everything between us. I had given her one last chance, but she had chosen a different path. I got into the car, started the engine, and drove away from that house. Inside, I felt an enormous void. Even though I still loved Molly, her choice had separated us forever. This chapter of my life was now behind me, never to return.